for the first time, security is deployed by name and telephone numbers.
Independent Electoral Commission Chairman assures Nigerians of INEC's readiness for Saturday's election.
I want to ensure that the resources of this country are used for this country, and that the resources of this country are not stolen.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo meets with youths, restates President Buhari's commitment to peace, unity and development. Nigeria! More political parties, youth organizations endorse the candidature of President Muhammadu Buhari. And federal government reacts to Nigerians' deportation from Ghana, says inhuman treatment of Nigerians abroad will not be condoned. Network News, I'm Joseph Johnson in Abuja. Reading with me tonight is Ruth Ario Samuel from Lagos, and we have Dibabare Nweke from our Port Harcourt Network Center. Now, 72.7 million Nigerians to decide the fate of candidates for the 2019 elections, as INEC declares self-fit to open the polls at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu gave the assurance during the daily press briefing by the Commission in Abuja. Mayor Ogidi reports.
The elections will hold except by an act of God. This is the belief of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, and the hope is anchored on the effective implementation of the schedule of activities. Now, distribution of non-sensitive materials and reconfiguration of smart card readers are completed, and distribution of sensitive materials unhindered.
19 states, as at this afternoon, early afternoon, are fully deployed to the local governments. All other states will complete deployment today.
On security, the police takes the lead, and there is no need to panic, as Section 29 of the Electoral Act is the umpire.
What is very interesting about the 2019 general elections in relation to security deployment is that for the first time, security is deployed by name and telephone numbers.
72.7 million Nigerians have been okayed to cast the ballot, as they are now equipped with the permanent voters card. The chart moves downwards from 84 million to 72.7 million voters, as the number of uncollected permanent voters cards stand at more than 11.2 million from the two continuous voter registration exercises between 2014 and 2018. Foreign observers went home smiling as the Nigerian government gives them waiver in visa application. The briefing was rounded off with assurances from the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, that there will be no leakage of any electoral material and the INEC ICT unit fortified to withstand any attempt to hack. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
And barely 2 days to the commencement of voting in the rescheduled general elections, 12 presidential candidates have formally announced the subordination of their ambitions. The candidates, under the auspices of the Forum of Presidential Candidates and Political Parties for Good Governance, are asking their teaming supporters to vote for President Muhammadu Buhari. State House correspondent Adam Osama reports that apart from the candidates, President Buhari also received the Yobe State chairman of the PDP, Sani Inuwa Nguru, who pledged allegiance to the Next Level movement.
The presidential candidates, led by Shitu Muhammad Kabir of the Advanced People's Democratic Alliance, ABDA, were in the State House to not only adopt the candidacy of President Muhammadu Buhari, but also declare their resolve to work assiduously for his re-election.
We therefore direct all our team members across the length and breadth of Nigeria to go out in their numbers to vote for APC presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari and Osinbajo in the coming election on Saturday, February 23, 20.
The candidates expressed the belief that no responsible Nigerian that truly means well for the country can ignore the fact that President Buhari is honest, trustworthy, and genuine in his efforts at taking Nigeria to the next level.
the massive road construction across the nation, the tremendous improvement in the power sector, agricultural revolution, the railway lines now in operation cannot be overlooked by any Nigerian that truly loves this nation. More importantly, its effort to rescue Nigeria and the Nigerian system from the claws of corruption is an effort that a truly committed Nigerian must encourage.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who expressed appreciation for the honor and demonstration of support by the presidential candidates, promised to remain focused and resolute in dismantling obstacles towards achieving sustainable future for the country.
I think this mismanagement is unprecedented, and I hope Nigerian historians and economists will record it as part of our state of development. It's something to be ashamed of, but it should be a record so that we can stop the future generation from making the same mistake. I have a clear plan on what to do, and I'm doing my best. I thank God people are seeing the progress and they are helping. I respect the sacrifice you have made, and I very sincerely thank you very much for your patriotism so that we can do better for this country.
President Buhari also received in audience the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Yobe State, Alhaji Sani Inuwanguru. Alhaji Inuwanguru, accompanied by a chieftain of the APC in the state, Dr. Muhammad Lawal Yahuza, informed the president of his defection to the governing party and decision to support the task of taking Nigeria to the next level through the Broom Revolution. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, came to a standstill as the people troop out to welcome Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who was there for door-to-door campaign for re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari. Anthony Forson has details.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is no visitor to Kwara State, but the turnout of people to welcome him spoke volume of how the people have endeared themselves to the APC leader in Kwara State, Lai Mohammed, the Information and Culture Minister. The crowd, both old and young, lined the streets, singing and dancing, chanting support for President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC. The Vice President had a couple of stopovers where he interacted with the people. Earlier, he was at the palace of the Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, where he urged Nigerians not to despair following the postponement of the general elections, saying the only way they can assist in sustaining the nation's democracy and promote good governance is to come out en masse and vote for continuity.
Of the candidates of their choice. Of course, it is our desire that Muhammadu Buhari, President of Nigeria, should be voted for a second term in office. That's our desire. And we pray that the Almighty God will enable this to happen. And secondly, also that our candidate, Abdurrahman Abdul Razak, should also be voted in as governor of Kwara State by the grace of God.
He commended the Emir for his fairness towards political parties and their candidates. Responding, the Emir expressed satisfaction with the visit and wished the Vice President's entourage success in the upcoming elections. Similarly, the Vice President, during an interactive session with APC stakeholders in Kwara State, enjoined them to remain resolute to their cause, as the present administration, he said, is working hard to rebuild Nigeria after several years of bad governance.
A few people can share 200 million. Just a few of them can share 200 million. That is the reason why our country is backward when we should be ahead of at least any African country, including South Africa. But when our leaders are thieves, when the leaders themselves are thieves, we can never achieve the objectives that we want to achieve. The same Muhammadu Buhari was the one who built 3 of the 4 refineries that we have now. 3 of the 4, when he was Minister of Petroleum.
And make sure it does not go beyond that. But what we also know is that the real harm is done through count. But that is when they boil out. So please, we must be alert. We must resume 6 a.m. and close only after the voting.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has since left Ilorin. Anthony Forson, NTA News.
As part of their engagements with critical stakeholders ahead of the presidential election, the African Union Election Observer Team for the 2019 elections in Nigeria visited the National Secretariat of the All Progressives Congress. The party has reaffirmed its readiness to work in harmony with key players to ensure free and fair elections. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Nigeria's general elections have been attracting global attention in view of her position as the giant of Africa. Leader of the delegation, Haile Mariam Desalegn, says the visit is part of their pre-election activities to ascertain the party's level of preparedness and as well share ideas on the need for a peaceful elections in Nigeria as a basic requirement to boost democracy in Africa. At the end of the meeting held behind closed doors, leader of the African Union Election Observer Team declined comment to the media, but the Deputy National Chairman South of the APC, Niyi Adebayo, described the meeting as fruitful.
They asked us a few questions. They're interested in knowing our level of preparedness. They're interested in knowing our mindset towards the elections, and we expressed the way we feel as a party. We want free and fair elections. We want a level playing ground, and we are hopeful that there will not be violence at the end of the exercise.
Meanwhile, activities around the Secretariat are low as some staff have traveled to their various states ahead of the Presidential and National Assembly polls. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
In Lagos, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says accusations against President Muhammadu Buhari are untrue, describing him as one of the most committed persons to peace, unity and development of the country. The Vice President stated this at an interactive session with the youths tagged Unveiling the Truth. Nosa Osula reports.
The Vice President advised Nigerians to disregard such absurd, misleading and false accusations against President Muhammadu Buhari in order for them to make the right decision during the presidential election on Saturday.
First of all, to ensure that the resources of this country are used for this country and that the resources of this country are not stolen. Secondly, is committed to issues of security and the economy, and he lets people do their job. When he was Minister of Petroleum in this country, of the 4 refineries we have, he built 3 of those 4. Those are 3,500 kilometers of pipelines, the one who built them in this country. What has been added since then? Even then he wasn't talking, but he was doing the work.
Professor Osinbajo added that the president's good intentions should not be called into doubt and advised Nigerians not to spread false rumors about him.
That he's done that work. Look at even the Abuja light rail, the railway in Abuja itself. 2005 was when they started talking about it. They built a part of it, they didn't complete it. He's done that. Same as Abuja Kaduna Rail. In Takwewari, the railway there now, iron ore belt. That was also something people have been paid. A lot of these people who talked about it, got the money, stole it in many cases, the money disappeared. Today that's been completed. Same as Mandela Hydro Project, biggest power project in the whole of Africa. These are the issues that we're talking about. I think that if you're looking for commitment, no question at all, that you have a very, very committed president.
The Vice President earlier solicited the support of Hausa community in the Southwest for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and other APC candidates in the zone. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
And from Lagos, let's take you to Kano because youths in their hundreds stormed major streets in the ancient city in a peaceful rally to convey support for President Muhammadu Buhari for the people of the state to give him massive votes in the upcoming presidential election. Now, the youths were led by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Social Investment, Ismaila Ahmed. Mansuru Aliyu Hassan reports.
This last-minute rally in Kano State, the President Muhammadu Buhari's strong political hold, was convened at the instance of the Deputy Director North of the Youth Directorate APC Presidential Campaign Council, Ismail Ahmad. It was aimed at canvassing for more support to President Muhammadu Buhari during this Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections.
And we're here to make sure that we mobilize a lot of young people to move out.
Nigeria!
To President Muhammadu Buhari.
The motorcade of the Buhari supporters passes through Kano Government House, a route Emir's Palace, marketplaces and many strategic routes. This procession of supporters in Kano State, who are mainly youth, are expressing their readiness to vote for the president during this Saturday's presidential and National Assembly election, and also to further drum support from the over 5 million eligible voters in the state. In Kano, Mansur Aliyu Hassan, NTA News.
National Directorate of Employment have empowered 1,250 women and youths in FCT in collaboration with Future Assured Initiative and the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association. Omenka Amarachuku reports that this is aimed at complementing the present administration's efforts at tackling unemployment among women and youth.
When reaching home to use it, at least you're able to help the family.
I thank God with the help that she helped us.
These are beneficiaries of the Micro Enhancement Enterprise Scheme of NDE. 1,000 persons got 10,000 naira each to start up a business of their own, while 250 persons were given starter packs of cosmetology resettlement items worth 40,000 naira each. Wife of the president and founder of Future Assured Initiative, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, believes the empowerment will enhance the productivity of the beneficiaries.
This government bent on building the bridge to make sure that there is more middle class in the society for peace to reign. We are not campaigning, but to tell the people what this administration has done so far and what they intend to do in the next level.
We realize that if we can take care of poverty and unemployment in the rural areas, in the periphery, it is very easy for us to control the center.
National Directorate of Employment have replicated this in all the 36 states of the Federation. So far, 864,244 persons have benefited from various NDE programs from 2017 till date. In Abuja, Omenka Marchuku, NTA News.
More supporters of the All Progressives Congress are taking advantage of the one-week extension of the presidential and National Assembly elections to re-strategize and recommit themselves to actualize the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari. This, the Women and Youth Wing of the APC Presidential Campaign Council intend to do through renewed advocacy with achievements and leadership style of President Buhari. The group believes championing the desire of a second term of president asserts his purposeful leadership has shown so far. The February 23 polls, the group is optimistic, provides another opportunity for fans of Buhari and APC to, in a peaceful manner, show him love like they did in 2015 by casting their ballots to secure his return for all-round development.
Bridge, Ajakuta, still, project that's been rehabilitated, that is ongoing. The JAM, Kaduna Abuja Railroad, electricity has improved from 3,000 megawatts to 7,500. Now we have Democracy Day is now June 12th.
The president feels I have children. I'm giving mine food. What about those that do not have food to eat? He decides to go to do the home feeding in schools to encourage children.
Now, contrary to the fake news circulating on social media platforms, Vice President Yomi Osinbajo has not resigned his position in the Buhari administration. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akonde, indicates that Professor Osinbajo dismisses the false information as deliberate propaganda. It states further that in continuation of the next level engagements, the Vice President visited Ikeja, Lagos State, where he met with the Hausa community, and also visited Yola in Adamawa State, where he engaged a group of Christian leaders. It also says Professor Yomi Osinbajo continues the next level engagements and is expected in Kwara and Abia states. We now take a first break. Now, more stories in just a moment. Stay with us.
The UN compound houses about 400 employees.
The building is not safe.
The Nigerian capital Abuja is still reeling from Monday morning's rush hour bomb.
If the group did carry out the attack, it would be one of its worst.
2 suicide bombings in Nigeria. One targeted a convoy carrying Nigeria's main opposition leader.
Gun attack on the central mosque in North Nigeria's biggest city, Kano.
21 people have died in a large explosion at the Banex Plaza shopping center in the capital, Abuja.
Islamist extremists brought Christmas carnage to churches across Nigeria.
Kemgbe Buhari bara n'ọchịchị onye ọbụla mana ọ gbara ajụ wee bụrụ ezumnobi ndị Igbo n'isi ya nke pụtakwara ihe n'aka ọrịa niile jupụtere ebe dum n'obodo Naijiria maka ihe ndị a niile n'ụbọchị ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị na-abịanụ ka anyị niile gbaa mbọ bịa tụnyere Buhari vote oge eji abụ president obodo Naijiria na Prọfesọ Yemi Osibanjo n'oche vice president maka ọdịmma nke ndị Igbo n'ihi na o nwere ọtụtụ ihe ọma ga-eso ya tụnyere otu ya APC na-ebu azịza n'aka President Muhammadu Buhari ndị Igbo niile kwụghị n'azụ na-akwadoro gị ọkwa Eco Plus Support Group na-ewetara unu okwu a.
His popularity in Delta State is outstanding. Deltans love and adore our president.
APC!
From Warri, Agbo, Asaba, and Ogwashu. From Iseluku, Obiaruku, Ugeli, Ozoro, Owe, and Sapele. Come with us to Bamadi, Burutu, Ole, and Abraka.
Nigeria!
Everywhere in Delta, our people yearn for Mr. President. Let's vote and re-elect President Muhammad Buhari as president. Vote Great Oveja Ogboru for governor. Vote APC.
So, how do I look, guys?
Aha!
What?
I see what's wrong. The wall doesn't match your elegance.
Then we must do something about it right away.
At Royal Ceramics, we offer you a wide range of beautiful wall and floor tiles designed specially to fit your lifestyle.
So, what do you guys think?
Thank goodness we changed to Royal Ceramic tiles. Like mother, like daughter.
Royal Ceramics. Finish in style.
Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na woman be our choice. Nigeria na we country, APC na the party, na woman be our choice. Who be the president we know? Na he be the president we want. Who be the president we know? Na he be the president we want. To finish him war.
People of Nigeria, now we for a couple of support group, the joint President Muhammadu Buhari, beg all of you for the election, we end the carry go another date. Now as the thing vex everybody, now so it vex President Buhari, people of Nigeria, make we all patient, make we not give up, make we ready to come out this Saturday election day to vote Muhammadu Buhari as president and Professor Yemi Osibanjo as vice president. Them know the tell blind man says such they super. As we vote him again, work go jabrata, more money go shell for our market women and men where they do business and many other better things. Oga President Buhari, Nigeria people they your back, carry go. This message now from Eco Plus Support Group.
Nigerian women, una dey market women, una dey time we don't reach where we go pay back. Person we and security. They feed our children. For school, better road and cost. 4+4, job creation, empower, trade and money. Nigerian women, time we don't reach where we go pay back.
This message is brought to you by Ajia Salamatu Bewa, National Woman Leader, APC.
The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has directed all distribution companies in the country to conduct customer enumeration in their respective franchise areas and to complete the exercise by the 31st of March 2019. The Commission hereby urges all consumers to cooperate with the DISCOs in this exercise. This is very important, and it is in the interest of consumers as it will improve metering and help DISCOs to respond to electricity issues quickly. Signed, Management.
I am fully persuaded that Nigeria needs a man who is credible. I am Chris Okotie. Dependable and trustworthy.
I am Chris Okotie.
I am Chris Okotie.
My mandate, therefore, will be to set a government which I've christened Government of National Reconciliation and Reconstruction as the mechanical instrumentality for the crystallization of the new Nigeria of our dreams. It's time to love Nigeria. It's time to fix Nigeria. I'm Reverend Chris Okotie.
It's time to fix Nigeria. If you love Nigeria, say, aha, aha.
Nigeria, land of great people. The general elections are here again. Exercise your civic responsibility. The Christian Council of Nigeria is calling Nigerians of voting age to participate actively in the electoral process. Your vote is your power. It's your right. Yes, your vote counts. Shun tribal, religious and ethnic sentiments. Support politics without violence. It's one person, one vote. Let us conduct ourselves orderly during and after the elections. Don't be used as a political thug. Together, we can make Nigeria greater. This message is powered by the Christian Council of Nigeria, CCN.
We, the Nigerian youth, have resolved to stand with you, Baba, in the next level. We recognize your commitment to create jobs and empower the youth. Your strategic policies in the agri-sector has not only increased gainful employment and boosted production, but also saved the nation billions of dollars in foreign exchange. We are benefiting from your deployment of infrastructure across the country, with Abuja, Kaduna, and Lagos-Abeokuta rail lines completed. Itakpe-Ajaokuta-Warri rail line will soon be completed, while Lagos-Kano rail line is under construction. Additional 1,531 kilometers of roads have been completed and over 1,000 kilometers rehabilitated across the country. The second Niger bridge is on the way through Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. Hydropower plants in Mambila, Zungeru, and many other power projects are under construction to add value to the improved power generation, transmission, and distribution in the country. Brokering and sustaining peace in the Niger Delta has helped stabilize the economy, thereby increasing investment in the oil and gas sector. We are coming with you to the next level to see the Empower scheme increase to 1.5 million beneficiaries and full implementation of the 10 billion Naira Youth Entrepreneurship Project. Nigerian youth, let's connect to the next level. This message is powered by Dr. Tony Uoye, Director Youth Mobilization, APC Presidential Campaign Council.
It's NTN Network News. As campaign closes this Thursday midnight, the People's Democratic Party has thanked Nigerians for their patience as they go into Saturday's election. A joint media briefing by the party's national chairman Uche Secondus and some members of the presidential campaign organization recognizes the financial burden placed on the citizenry by the postponement of the election and urged them to take such as national sacrifice.
Whether you are PDP or not PDP, whether you are working class or you are a private person, you are talking about how Nigeria can get better.
We have a deep appreciation for all those who are doing their part to ease costs and help facilitate travel nationwide.
And we are very confident as a party that the people are rallying with us and we are bound to win this election.
The PDP leaders appealed to stakeholders in the electoral process to remember that the election is about sustaining the nation's democracy. Ahead of Saturday's presidential and National Assembly elections, the All Progressives Congress is calling on Nigerians to turn out en masse and use their votes to send a clear message to Treasury looters. The party, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Issa Onilu, says the time has come for Nigerians to again reject the PDP and their candidates under whose 16-year watch Nigeria's Commonwealth was mismanaged. The statement says while the choices that have presented themselves before Nigerians in the elections are many, the APC offers the best credible alternative and therefore calls on Nigerians to choose between moving forward to the next level of economic growth, shared prosperity, in infrastructural development and a secure future which the party and President Buhari offers, or go backward to the era of looting and plundering of the nation's commonwealth by few elites. Let's turn to the judiciary now. Okay, just before we go to the judiciary, let's take this particular story, which says passengers traveling for election have started enjoying 50% reduction in transport fare, a subsidy by National Union of Rail Transport Workers to cushion the effects of double spending as a result of the rescheduled elections. Emmanuel Ayimero went to Utako Motor Park in Abuja to monitor compliance by members of the union.
Actually, they ask for voters card, and I bring my voters card out. So the president of the union collected the voters card and confirmed that it is being registered in Kano, and I'm going for voting in Kano. I'm paying 1,500 naira.
As against how much?
As against 3,000.
I'm very, very, very happy for this discount.
Equally testifying about the 50% discount are passengers traveling to Akure from Abuja.
Up national progress. Progress.
It's true. I paid 2,050 naira, 2,550 naira.
As against how much?
4,550.
Oh, where are you?
Because of the election, so I want to vote.
Okay. Do you have your PVC?
Yeah, it's with me.
The leadership of NURTW are all out for first-hand information on the implementation of the directive.
They are fully compliant. We started this thing around 7 o'clock.
Are you satisfied with the level of the compliance?
Perfect. I'm satisfied.
I know that you have your national officers all around. What are the feelers you are getting?
The same thing is happening all over the country.
The 50% reduction in transport fare continues till Monday, the 25th of February, only for those with their PVC. From Utako Motor Park in Abuja, Emmanuel Ayimero, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has deployed 19,000 personnel to parts of the country in preparation for the general elections. Starting this Saturday, the Corps Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi confirmed this at a media briefing on the level of preparedness of FRSC towards the 2019 general elections. Oyeyemi Ajayi has more.
Yeah, this is the situation room of the Federal Road Safety Corps, talking about the FRSC. This is actually where they tracked the vehicles in different parts of the country. These are vehicles in different parts of the country. Iseyin, Bomosho, Port Harcourt, Uyo, Calabar. FRSC has deployed its personnel to different locations in the country, also in preparation for the 2019 general election.
All the deputy commercials have been moved to the 6 geopolitical zone, and the assistant commercials have been moved to the states to ensure that we give maximum support. This is a national responsibility.
Aside these, 58,812 vehicles belonging to the National Union of Road Transport Workers (NURTW) have been inspected and certified for use to convey sensitive electoral materials to their destinations, in addition to ambulances and towing vehicles set for use. Standard operation procedure was said to have been developed by the Corps for its participating staff to enable them have clearer understanding of their roles in the election duties. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
To the judiciary now, where the Court of Appeal has set aside the judgments of the Federal High Court in Abuja that affirmed INEC position to stop the All Progressives Congress from fielding candidates in the upcoming general elections in Zamfara State. Ali Tukuru reports.
On the 25th of last month, Justice Ijoma Ojukwu of the Federal High Court held that the INEC was right to have stopped the All Progressives Congress from fielding candidates in the upcoming general elections in Zamfara State. Although the APC national body, which initially instituted the appeal, had withdrawn, thereby necessitating a cross-appeal filed by Lawan Liman, chairman of the APC Zamfara State, and 4 others. The cross-appeal is seeking the appellate court to set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court and include the APC in the upcoming general elections in Zamfara State on the grounds that, in the first place, the Federal High Court lacks the jurisdiction to entertain the suit because of the fact that the trial court's attention has been drawn to the pendency of the suit before a Zamfara State High Court, thereby making the trial before the Federal High Court an abuse of court process. Justice Abdu Aboki, who led the panel of 3 justices, agreed with the cross-appellant that the trial before the Federal High Court constitute a gross abuse of court process.
Meant to have said from the word go that Zamfara State conducted its primaries, Zamfara State is going to feature in the election, and that is the judgment of Court of Appeal.
I can't say we are not dissatisfied with this decision, and we leave that to any other party that may be dissatisfied.
In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Addressing the issue of INEC ad hoc staff reviewing security arrangements and the need to shun all forms of political violence and thuggery at any level were top on the agenda of the Election Analysis Center. Mamso Damian Dati was at the center's briefing, which discussed findings after the postponements and recommendations.
The Election Analysis Center has reconvened, but this time to brief journalists on the findings of the research carried out by observers deployed across the country.
The challenge we are facing in these elections is not something that is new in the history of the country, but our findings have shown that the way they have instrumentalized fake news and disinformation, that is what is affecting what is happening on ground.
We have to point out also that there is some element of worry nationwide about whether elections will hold or not, particularly as we consider the enormous amount of tax before the Electoral Commission. Nonetheless, we believe and we hope that the INEC will be able to conduct a hitch-free elections on election day.
And these were the recommendations for a free, fair and credible polls.
INEC must address the status of the payment of the last week duty of ad hoc staff to avoid staff shortage. It is important and necessary to review security plans for volatile states such as Borno, Yobe, Adamawa and Zamfara states.
Confident in INEC's ability to conduct the general elections as scheduled, based on daily progress reports, the Center for Democracy and Development is hopeful that its suggestions will be considered. Momso Damien Ati.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari will on Friday, February 22, 2019, broadcast to the nation at 7 o'clock in the morning, with a repeat at 9 o'clock in the evening. A statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says all television, radio stations and other electronic media outlets are enjoined to hook up to the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority and Radio Nigeria for the broadcast. Well, do stay with us here on NTN Network News. We're back in just a moment.
All TVs say picture quality, but never mention the most important color, black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
I am fully persuaded that Nigeria needs a man who is credible. I am Chris Okotie. Dependable and trustworthy.
I am Chris Okotie.
I am Chris Okotie.
My mandate, therefore, will be to set up government which have christened Government of National Reconciliation and Reconstruction as the mechanical instrumentality for the crystallization of the new Nigeria of our dreams. It's time to love Nigeria. It's time to fix Nigeria. I'm Reverend Chris Okotie.
It's time to fix Nigeria. If you love Nigeria, say, aha, aha.
Helen!
Hey, where's your mom?
Today is her toilet day.
What?
Helen!
Toilet day?
Tomorrow you're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with all this, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible!
Challenge? New Ticker Harpic 10X. Even if you use this solution 10 times, it won't give you the same cleaning like Harpic because its new Ticker formulation sticks to the bowl better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow!
New Harpic 10X
gives me the freedom from toilet day.
Don't do it. Una never see say don't bring sugar come. Make my brother. Una go carry this sugar go inside now. Oh boy. Now what this way go back? Now important sugar why I want send now?
Government don't bring the Nigerian Sugar Master Plan (NSMP) where go increase sugar production for we country.
You never hear say federal government don't ban the importation of sugar where they for packet into we country. These boys where they drop trouser waka for town go get work to do. Now him be say poverty go reduce. Pounds, dollars, naira go berekete. Lights go dey nyafu from the sugarcane back where you the chop through away. Sugarcane farmer self go enjoy them go train their children go better school.
Make we support government for the Nigerian Sugar Master Plan.
No sell, no buy, reject finished sugar products when they smuggle enter we country.
Make we join hands together with government to make Nigeria better.
Na National Sugar Development Council (NSDC) de nakuna this story.
They buy no Lagos nasi, Buhari kaijara. Ndi Yoruba nasi o, Buhari kaijara. Kedu kwano makandi South na Lagos, Buhari kaijara. Ndi Hausa no eba nasi kwa o, Buhari kaijara. Yale kwa yele ko shant neku o, Buhari kaijara. Yale kwa yende baye nasi kwa no.
Ọhaneze kemgbe Buhari bara n'ọchịchị onye ọbụla mana ọ gbara ajụ wee bụrụ ezumnobi ndị Igbo n'isi ya nke pụtakwara ihe n'aka ọrịa niile jupụtere ebe dum n'obodo Naijiria maka ihe ndị a niile n'ụbọchị ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị na-abịanụ ka anyị niile gbaa mbọ bịa tụnyere Buhari vote oge eji abụ president obodo Naijiria na Prọfesọ Yemi Osibanjo n'oche vice president maka ọdịmma nke ndị Igbo n'ihi na o nwere ọtụtụ ihe ọma ga-eso ya tụnyere otu ya APC na-ebu azịza n'aka President Muhammadu Buhari ndị Igbo niile kwụghị n'azụ na-akwadoro gị ọkwa Eco Plus Support Group na-ewetara unu okwu a.
His popularity in Delta State is outstanding. Deltans love and adore our president. APC! From Warri, Agbo, Asaba, and Ogwashu. From Iseluku, Obiaruku, Ugeli, Ozoro, Owe, and Sapele. Come with us to Bamadi, Burutu, Ole, and Abraka. Nigeria! Everywhere in Delta, our people yearn for Mr. President. Let's vote and re-elect President Muhammad Buhari as president. Vote Great Obeje Ogboru for governor. Vote APC.
Great people of Nigeria, we members of Eco Plus Support Group join our indefatigable President Muhammadu Buhari to sincerely apologize to all Nigerians for the postponement of the general elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission. President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned this action just like every Nigerian. However, as the people and supporters of President Muhammadu Buhari's developmental agenda, we call on Lagosians and all Nigerians to stand together and be determined in our resolve to ensure victory for Mr. President by coming out on Saturday to vote Muhammadu Buhari again as President and Professor Yemi Osibanjo as Vice President. Despite the inconveniences of the days, Nigeria is surely moving forward with Muhammadu Buhari and Professor Yemi Osibanjo's presidency. Let's vote right. Vote for progress. Vote Muhammadu Buhari for president. APC, moving on to the next level. This message is from Eco Plus Support Group.
Munch it, what a tasty, crunchy feeling. Munch it, gotta munch it every day. too much, and stop munch. Munch it is here. Irresistible. 1 month, 2 months, and stop munch.
Try a pack of Munch It snack at 50 naira.
Glad to have you with us. As international donor agencies continue to render assistance to victims of Boko Haram in the northeast, the King Salman Humanitarian Agency of Saudi Arabia has joined other donors with a donation of food items worth 3 billion naira. The leader of the Saudi delegation, Nasir Al-Subeb, says that Saudi Crown Prince is touched by the plight of the IDPs. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
The food items include 62,686 kilograms each of rice and beans, plus more than 60,000 cartons of assorted condiments, which were distributed in 19 IDP camps in Borno State, while 7,548 bags each of rice and beans, plus cartons of condiments, were distributed in IDP camps in Yobe State. The first phase of the distribution commenced last year, November. The IDPs were full of gratitude to King Salman of Saudi Arabia for identifying with their plight.
It's a very wonderful issue and it's a very wonderful matter. We're even surprised to the extra limits.
Minister of Defense Mansour Dang Ali launched the distribution in Maiduguri, supported by Saudi Arabian Ambassador to Nigeria Adnan bin Mahmoud Bostaji, Borno State Governor Kashim Shatima, Director General of NEMA Mustafa Mehajja, among other government functionaries.
The two countries have continued to collaborate in various areas of mutual benefit and interest, including military relationship.
We are one country, one brother. All Nigerian people, one brother.
I want to put it on record that the support from the King Salman Humanitarian and Relief Organization will inshallah be judiciously utilized for the common good of our people.
These items will be distributed directly to the affected people through combined effort of SEMA, NEMA and other critical stakeholders.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, adopted its door-to-door method of distribution to reach actual beneficiaries directly. The second phase of the distribution is built to commence on the 4th of March 2019. From Maiduguri, Borno State, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
The federal government says inhuman treatment of Nigerian citizens abroad will not be tolerated. The senior special assistant to the president on diaspora matters, Abike Dabiri Erewa, stated this while briefing journalists in the State House. She was responding to the recent deportation of some Nigerians from Ghana, assuring that deportees that they will not be allowed to suffer for crimes they did not commit.
Thorough investigations are going on. Each
case will be treated on its own merit. If indeed you are Mr. A, you committed a crime, you'll have to pay for it. But if you are Mr. A, you did not commit a crime, you are assumed to have, and you're in humane treatment, be assured that the Nigerian government will look into every case on its own merit. But right now, the Nigerian ambassador is meeting with all the relevant bodies, starting with the Comptroller General of Immigration, to explain what really happened. So let's stay calm.
Nigerians, especially politicians, are advised to be committed to the sustenance of peace and security in the country to advance democratic culture. This was expressed by guests on NTS Current Affairs program, Moment for Thought.
Anybody that will foment violence to the extent of taking lives to also get power is not deserving of power.
Any action at all that poses threat to the integrity of the election must be checked.
The program comes up tonight at 11:30 on NTN network service. Let's check Ruth now in our Lagos Network Center for some stories. Ruth?
Hello, Joseph. Thank you and a warm welcome to Lagos. 1,800 entrepreneurs in Lagos State have received the federal government conditional grant to boost their businesses. Director General, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, Diko Rada, at the presentation of checks to beneficiaries, said the micro subsector contributes over 84% of the national labor force. Abolade Salami reports.
The macro, small and medium enterprises represent one of the most important subsectors of the nation's economy. The federal government, in fulfillment of its promise at enhancing the MSMEs sector for high performance and job creation in 2018, kicked off the conditional grant scheme for entrepreneurs in 6 states. The positive impact it had on businesses prompted its pilots in the nation's commercial hub, Lagos.
So we have a mandate of our agency to facilitate growth and development of MSMEs, and for you to facilitate the growth of MSMEs, and for you to expect any MSME to grow, you need to formalize them.
Lagos State Deputy Governor Idiat Adebule implored the beneficiaries to make judicious use of the grants.
His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari has shown genuine commitment to grow and diversify the economy through the development of MSMEs.
Some beneficiaries described the initiative as laudable.
I like what the government do.
Stakeholders say the scheme is geared towards improving the internally generated revenue of the 3 tiers of government in Lagos. Abolade Salami, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos Network Center. Back to Joseph in Abuja.
Thank you, Ruth. Now, the Nigerian High Commissioner to Ghana, Ambassador Michael Abikoye, has presented a letter of protest and consultation to the Ghanaian government over what he described as the inhuman treatment of Nigerians by the country's immigration service, with the deportation of 723 Nigerians in less than 1 year. He spoke with Adebola Brookslyn Sunday.
Relations between Nigeria and Ghana dates back to pre-independence era, but the frequent deportation of Nigerians from the sister nation is becoming worrisome. Speaking, Ambassador Femi Abikoye, who confirmed the incident, said at a meeting with the Comptroller General of the Ghana Immigration Service, Kwame Taiki, the Nigerian diplomat was emphatic about his nation's position.
ECOWAS Protocols Convention is so clear about this. And the nationals of ECOWAS country does not even talk in terms of residential permits as they live peacefully without any crime.
He also spoke on the new development.
The Ghana Immigration Service has issues warning to all landlords that they should insist that they must have, all foreigners must have resident permits and legal stay before they can give them houses.
He affirmed that the relationship between the two countries will remain intact. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Let's take another short break. The news continues.
Sore throat, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. It feels like they're having a party. You need Strepsils.
It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me. It's Jik, of course. The original trusted bleach, which can be used all around your house for amazing results. Shh, it's our little secret. It's no secret. It's Jik's best ever extra whitening power. Just Jik it.
It's new. They call me Jumabi. If you love the change the way you see and you want me to sustain them, vote APC. 4+4 now 8 and nothing fit to change them. Vote APC.
Shana next level be the vision for the nation.
Vote APC.
We no go stop to fight corruption, that one not for sure.
Vote APC. I am a lele. If you want to sweep jati, show me your broom. I am a lele. If you want to sweep yama, show me your broom.
I am a lele. For quality education, show me your broom. I am a lele. Security in our nation, show me your broom.
Thanks for staying with us. A report just reaching us says Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has assured the people of Kwara State of adequate security as they go out to cast their votes come Saturday. The minister stated this while reacting to an attack on the convoy of an APC senatorial candidate in Ilorin today.
This reassurance is necessary in view of the unprovoked attack on the campaign train of the APC candidate for the Kwara South Senatorial District, architect Lola Ashiru, by PDP thugs, which left 1 person dead, another in critical condition, and many others injured. Several vehicles in the convoy of the candidate were also damaged.
To this end, the minister says security agents have made some arrests in connection with the attack, promising that such acts will not be condoned.
I attaches great importance to the issue of free, fair, and peaceful elections. During Monday's APC caucus meeting, the president warned all political actors to ensure an environment free from intimidation and violence for all eligible citizens to peacefully cast their ballot during the elections. Of course, you are aware that the president has directed security agencies to contain any acts of lawlessness before, during, and after the elections. Anyone who attempts to snatch ballot boxes or lead thugs to disrupt voting will pay with his life. The president has warned.
That's all we have for you here on NTN Network News. Thank you so much for your company so far. I'm Joseph Johnson. We're sorry we cannot take some other stories like sports and weather. I'm Joseph Johnson. Good night. Bye-bye.